Count of Guise and Duke of Guise were titles in the French nobility, originally a seigneurie. In 1417 Guise was erected into a county for René, a younger son of Louis II of Anjou. While disputed by the House of Luxembourg, the county was ultimately retained by the House of Anjou and its descendants, passing in 1520 to the cadet branch of the ducal House of Lorraine that became known as the House of Guise, headed by Claude of Lorraine. In 1528, the county was elevated to a dukedom and peerage of France for him. The Dukes of Guise and the sons played a prominent role in the French Wars of Religion, during which they were the leaders of the ultra-Catholic faction. This dukedom became extinct in 1688, and the lands attached to it passed to the Princess Palatine Anne, a great-granddaughter of Charles of Lorraine Guise, Duke of Mayenne, although she was not the heiress in strict primogeniture, that being the Duke of Mantua. The dukedom was recreated for Anne and her husband Henry-Jules de Bourbon, Prince of Condé, in 1704. On the extinction of the Bourbon-Condé family in 1830, the Guise dukedom was inherited by the House of Orléans, descendants of Anne's granddaughter Louise Henriette de Bourbon, Duchesses of Orléans. Louis Philippe of Orléans having become King of the French in 1830. Henceforth the title Duke of Guise was used as a courtesy title for members of this family after it was deposed and went into exile in 1848. Firstly for 3 sons of Prince Henry, Duke of Aumale, and then for Prince John, son of Robert d'Orléans, Duke of Chartres. In 1926 John, Duke of Guise, became the Orléanist claimant to the throne of France as Jean III. Counts of Guise, House of Anjou, René of Naples, House of Luxembourg. The House of Luxembourg had disputed the countship of Guise, and with the approval of John, Duke of Bedford, English regent of France, seized the county in 1425. John, Count of Lyonnais. Louis de Luxembourg, Count of St. Pol. House of Anjou. The marriage of Charles of Lorraine, younger brother of René, to Isabel of Luxembourg, sister of Louis, allowed him to peacefully recover Guise. Charles of Lorraine. Charles IV, Duke of Anjou, House of Armagnac, House of Rohan. Charles IV left his lands to the crown, but Guise was granted to his nephew Louis in 1491. Louis d'Armagnac, Duke of Nemours. Marguerite d'Armagnac, Duchess de Nemours, held by her husband Pierre de Rohan-Guise. Charlotte d'Armagnac, Duchess de Nemours, held by her husband Charles de Rohan-Guise. House of Lorraine. In 1520, the Parliament of Paris awarded the Countship of Guise to Claude of Lorraine, second son of René II of Lorraine and heir to his French possessions. The countship was elevated to a dukedom in 1528. Claude de Lorraine, Dukes of Guise, House of Guise. Claude, Duke of Guise. Francis, Henry I, Charles, Henry II, Louis Joseph, Francis Joseph, son of Marie S. 1675. Marie did not marry and had no descendants. She willed Guise to a relative, Charles François de Stainville, on 8 January 1688. This was undone by the Parliament of Paris at the request of other claimants to the estate, among whom was the wife of France's premier Prince du Sang, Anne Henriette of Bavaria, Princess of Condé, a great-granddaughter of Charles of Lorraine, Duke of Mayenne, through her mother. In this way the lands of the House of Guise, and later the ducal title, came to the House of Bourbon-Condé. House of Bourbon-Condé. Anne Henriette of Bavaria married Henry III, Louis II, Louis III Henry, Louis IV Joseph, Louis V Henry. Afterwards, the title was extinguished and no longer bestowed. It returned to the royal domain. Louis Henry, though, left his estate to his godson, Henry d'Orléans, Duc d'Aumale. He was bestowed with the personal title of Duke of Guise by Louis Philippe, King of the French, his grandfather, in 1847. House of Bourbon-Orléans. From here on the title became a courtesy title used by the House of Orléans. Henry d'Orléans, son of Henry d'Orléans, Duc d'Orléans. François Paul d'Orléans, brother of Henry. François Louis d'Orléans, brother of Henry and François Paul. Jean d'Orléans, grandson of Ferdinand Philippe, Duke of Orléans.